Hey, yo, jerks. We're live 6:04 p.m. We're a little late, a little early. We said 6:30, then we changed it to 6. I got here at 6:04 because I'm talking to my guy, my friend, Mazza Media. I haven't talked to him in a little while. And video chat, let's say. I got carried away. I just going motor mouth. So tonight, I don't even know what to say. People have been asking me for a while this week, especially the last couple nights, like, where the hell are you? Did you disappear? And it's been a tough friggin' week, I gotta say. Like a tough, I don't like to cry because my life is really good. I'm a happy guy, like, especially now. But the other night my dog had an issue. I had to take him to the animal ER. It turned out to be nothing, honestly, but it's better be safe than sorry. And the Bulger Animal Hospital in Lawrence are so good. Love that place. And they did make them better, like, really quickly. So that was one thing the other night. That was unexpected. And then I fell walking two dogs. It wasn't the dog's fault. It was my fault. I just basically tripped off a curb right into the middle of a main street. And I've been sore. My friggin' ribs are killing me. My shoulder, not that bad. It's pretty minor. I'm pretty lucky. Could have been a lot worse. I'm going to be fine. But that's one of the reasons, obviously. But there's also some other things that you probably saw some of it if you're on Twitter anyways. The election one, I don't want to be a talking head about politics anymore. I really don't. And I kind of did it on Twitter. And I kind of was majorly wrong, so I'm humbled by it today. And I think Mazza doesn't want to talk about it either. It's like, I'm not going to speak for Mazza, but I don't want to be that guy giving opinion on what it means. It is what it is. I'm humbled because I was so wrong on it. And one thing I'll say is I think the Democrats are missing a lot. And I don't think Trump's perfect, but I hope that Trump gets it together. One thing I liked about Trump was he said no taxes on tips. So I hope he does that for working class people. No taxes on tips. And I hope that he and the Democrats both start thinking about the American people and the economics, the financial situation, because that's what I think they both missed it this election, even though Trump won on that issue. Now they got to do something. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But the other issue, I think people saw that I don't even want to talk about it, but there's a show tonight later on after this. And I did a show supporting Sean in a lot of respects recently. And it's gotten worse. And I again, like I said, I don't want to be the guy that's publicly criticizing Sean, but I don't agree with a lot of shit that's gone down. So tonight, instead of talking about that, I want to remind people, what can we do? What's most important right now? And Maz and I were talking about it before I bring him up right now. I think we got to get back to donating, supporting Turtle Boy Defense Fund and the Karen Read Defense Fund and all those other defense funds. In the chat tonight, the first one I'm going to put up right now is the Aiden Carney Turtle Boy Defense Fund. Do you want to make a statement if you're not happy about the drama that's going on with Free Karen Read right now? Let's do that. Let's support Karen and Aiden's defense funds. I think that's the most important thing. I don't think we need to spend time on drama. I think our money speaks for itself. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making donations to Karen Read Defense Fund again and Aiden Carney Defense Fund sometime this weekend. And I hope you guys all join us. So let's bring up my friend, Mazza Media. What's up, Mazza?
How you doing, Mike? Great to be back. Happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome back. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
It has been. I can't remember the last time I've been on this show. I think the last time maybe a week and a half ago, whatever it was. But yeah, it's been some time. A lot's changed, and there's been a lot of stuff. I told you on the pre-show I wasn't going to talk about tonight. I was going to avoid it at all costs, and one of them is politics. I try to avoid talking about that. Maybe behind closed doors or with people I know, I'll talk about it. But as when I'm operating under the name of Mazza Media, it's no politics, not at all.
It's funny because one night we were on the show and people have accused you of being one way,
right?
Politically, and I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't even know. I don't
Yeah.
even like. That's how little you talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And even us just now behind the scenes before the show, I still don't know how you are
Yeah.
politically. It's kind of intriguing. I almost don't want to know, Mazza. It's like you don't talk about that shit, right? Really?
Yeah. I try to avoid it because, like for me, like when I talk about any subject that we're talking about, like Karen Read, for example, like the last thing I ever want to do is take an audience that's focused on Karen Read or Turtle Boy or whatnot, and then start to steer that in a direction that is not geared towards that. And I don't want to, create. I always figure like if you want to talk about sports, watch sports. If you want to talk about politics, watch politics. If you want to talk about Karen Read, then Karen Read. If you want to watch comedy, watch a comedy. Just go where you want to go. So I try to like avoid bringing that in at all costs. And I'm thankful that I stayed strong this year because at times you want to talk about it, you want to bring up certain subjects. But I think I ran a poll once, like who are you going to vote for? But it's always neutral. It's never leaning one way or the other because I just want to, when I'm doing what I do, I want to just keep it about Karen, or if it's another topic, I'm talking about that. But just try to keep. I don't want us being divided, and I think that for us as supporters of Karen Read or any other individual, Sandra Birchmore, whomever that's been, just so many other people that have been victimized and have had misfortunes happen to them that we've kind of fought and been vocal about. I want to make sure we're all together, unified, and all on the same side as much as possible because we're up against forces here at a state level that are very intense. And at the end of the day, I don't think someone like Karen would be concerned about other things as much as us, like you said, raising money for her and supporting her and raising awareness. There's been a lot of people over the past year, 2 years that have come on and learn more about this and become followers. And every time they do, that's an additional person that can help support Karen Read and raise awareness with standouts and all of that great stuff. So that's important to me. And I always try to keep myself disciplined on that. So.
All right. We got some of our moderators in the chat. I saw Jenna O. She just posted it and I pinned it. Right now it is pinned. Donate to Karen's Defense Fund. So if you want to donate tonight, it's right in the top of the chat. And again, we posted Aiden's link earlier. We'll be pinning his link as well later.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best things I love on the show, that we've been, over the years, been able to help, and especially with the Karen Read Defense Fund. Like, I love when I see us raising money for those defense funds. It just feels so good when people donate to them. And even like recently we had a candidate, for office on, and I think we helped her get some donations against Michael Morrissey. So I just love this community. I just love that they kick in. And the thing about politics is, for me, it's hard because I have been such a highly political guy for so long.
Yeah.
And this is the first election where I didn't go completely crazy, even though people probably think I did the last couple of days, but I mostly held back. And I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I got to just be me and do what I need to do. And then other times, I'm like where you're saying, Mazza, because I've been so focused on Karen Read. I want to support Karen Read. And I just got to say, like, I appreciate especially the Trump people who stood by me this election, knowing that I'm not voting with them, and that so I got to say, like, it is nice to know that some of us can put aside politics and still be friends and even speak our politics at each other in a good conversation. And I think we all agree on a lot more than we disagree on, actually. I just think that we don't agree on how we're going to get there, who can do it, all that stuff. So I just hope maybe everyone could start to work together in this country and actually deal with the obvious issues there are. There are some serious issues. I think that's the big thing from this election. People voted a certain way because they felt like, so We'll leave it at that. No more politics talk. Let's talk more about SJC. I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Mazza.
That's
You
all
said
good.
nothing, which is good. You let me talk.
That's all right.
No
You
one's mad at me right now, I don't think. Mike not letting go of the politics talk. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Unless you know, the other thing too is we may take some phone calls tonight.
Nice.
So like I'd appreciate people not asking me about politics, but if you want to speak about why you voted the way you did, how you feel, I think that's what I want to hear tonight after, you know, Maz and I talk for a little bit, is from the people out there. Like I said, I don't want us, you know, I don't want to be talking all about Sean and all that other stuff. But if people want to call in and talk, you know, I tried to calm it down the other day, maybe too much to my detriment. You know, some people got mad about that. And I kind of see where they're coming from. Like I listen, but tonight I think that may be where we go, is let people. That's what I want to hear from. I want to hear from the people tonight. So Mazza, SJC, you watched this today. The Karen Read Supreme Judicial Court, the hearing. What did you think? How did it go?
So I was a little frustrated when I started watching this, just because just a part of me was kind of like, it's almost like when you get to go back to school after the end of a summer and suddenly you're back again and you're watching it again. And it's the same issue that's been fought for months, which is the getting basically counts 1 and counts 3 to have the jury be able to kind of speak to what they did, which we never really got any clarity on at the end of the last trial. So initially I was kind of a little bit, I don't know, a little frustrated with the process. It's like, oh, they have to, you know, Karen's going to go through this. Everyone's going to drag out there again to go through this when Auntie Bev couldn't have just got this done right the first time. I was a little frustrated about that for quite a bit. Then eventually I kind of was a little bit testy towards some of the judges at first. Then I kind of realized, you know, like, this is the way it is in appellate court. You know, they're going to ask a lot of questions. They're going to interject. They're going to interrupt because they want to have certain things asked. They want to be concise and direct and to the point when they're conducting themselves. And over time, you know, I really warmed up to the judges throughout the course of the day and actually had more of a positive. I think there's a part of me that probably had a little bit of Auntie Bev post-traumatic stress in me. We're looking at authority figures. You kind of have a little bit of a negative reaction, but after a while, I kind of warmed up to them and started to like their questions. And the more and more they asked, I thought that they were good. And then it got to the second portion, which we'll get to in a bit, of course. And they were really honing in on ADA Schillinger, which was great. Now, I'll start with my review here briefly with saying that attorney Marty Weinberg was absolutely stellar today, and not just great, but he showcased years and years of experience that he had. It can be tough being an attorney in a courtroom and dealing with one judge and having them interject you at a hearing or whatnot. But in this particular case, he was answering questions from multiple justices that would often, once one asked a question and got done talking, he would then be asked another question by a judge a couple seats over and have to instantaneously break his mind from that one-to-one conversation and discussion, and then suddenly start to field the next question. These questions are never, softball questions. A lot of times you have to think, you have to have the right answer for it. They're asking stuff that, again, is deep, direct, and to the point. And he had great answers for a lot of them. And there was a moment or two where I felt like one of the justices or judges to the left had really asked him a question that I thought was a little bit. She probably did it on purpose because she knows the case very well, I'd imagine. But she threw him kind of a question, kind of a generality or generalization, I should say, about what the jury said about being gridlocked and that continuing to deliberate would be futile. And I thought Marty did a great job of not only answering and countering that, but he also expanded upon that. And he made a lot of great points that he hadn't previously stated throughout the course of today's hearing. And he was very phenomenal. And I'll tell you right now, you get what you pay for in life. And when you pay for top tier attorneys like this, Marty Weinberg absolutely knocked it out of the park today, like the true veteran and basically a legend, I would say that he is.
We have some funny comments. Do you want to talk about the comments? Or do you want to keep going on the SJC?
I didn't read them. No, I didn't see them.
There's one that's like completely trolling, which is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is, but I thought it was kind of funny. It was See, like we were trying not to talk about politics, but they keep talking about politics, of course. But I said we'd listen to the people tonight. So here's the people's comment. This is Jess Spouting says, nope, politics made me unwilling to donate to Turtle Boy Karen Reed. She hasn't talked politics. I will still donate to talk politics, and I'm not giving money. I don't even know. I mean, are they trolling? What is that?
Well, I know.
Another one.
Yeah.
I love this one. Where is it? I gotta find this one because this is gonna be a poll question tonight. Here it is. Here's the poll question. Charlie Griffin says, "Cry, Mike, you pathetic liberal." I want to put that as a poll question.
Yeah.
Is Mike a crying pathetic liberal tonight? That's what I want to know. Because I'm not crying. I'm not crying. More laughing. I think that might be good as a shirt. Like, I don't know, something. Maybe a young jelly, a new version. All right, Maz is ignoring. He's not.
I might have some information here. I'm just quantifying it right now. I was sent a text. This is from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Superior Court Criminal Action, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, order for special assignment. It is hereby ordered that the Honorable Judge Beverly Cannoni, Associate Justice of the Superior Court, is specially assigned to hear the above captioned case for all purposes. The clerk's office will notify all counsel of record. In future filings, the parties shall note prominently in the caption that this case is keep saying specifically, specially assigned to Judge Cannoni. This is signed by Michael Rasuti, the Chief Justice. And then I was also provided a listing here of what those motions are. Sorry, I'm just trying to read this, break it down, and understand it all at once. I do apologize. This pertains to the Commonwealth's motion for all audio recordings, interview notes, emails, text messages, and voicemails in the possession of Gretchen Voss and or MetroCorp. 2, affidavit of Commonwealth in support of motion for all audio recording, interview notes, emails, text messages, and voicemails in the possession of Gretchen Voss and or MetroCorp. 3, an order for special assignment is hereby ordered that the Honorable Beverly Cannoni, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, is specially assigned to hear the above captioned case for all purposes. That was just sent my way here.
So that's new. But it's a repeat, though. Why would they do the Gretchen Voss thing again when they already sent it to Bev Cannoni? Does this new prosecutor even know what happened in the first case?
I'm not sure. This is all dated today.
Wouldn't that kind of piss off Cannoni to say, like, look, we're going to have you do the Voss thing again after Gretchen Voss in the Boston Magazine already defended it against it and said no.
Yeah. Yeah, sign to
Why are they going after Gretchen Voss like that? That's like I thought they were trying to court her. It's funny how I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a good move for them. I don't understand why they're doing that.
Right.
So let's go back to the Supreme Judicial Court. Like I mean, I'm a little bit optimistic, but I think that these things are hard to win.
Yeah.
I don't think they just give you a win at the SJC.
No.
I think it
really
has to be tailored to something that they want to, create. Like it's got to be. I just wonder, because like you said, they were asking a lot of specific questions.
Oh
today.
yeah.
What do you think we get out of the questions that they were asking today? Where do you think that they're thinking?
Great question, Mike. So this is what I think. I felt that they were asking Marty Weinberg very thorough questions to get to an absolute point of what they were trying to rule. These appellate justices, appellate court justices, whatever, are very thorough in their questioning. They ask very in-depth questions, and it's very, very detailed stuff. I felt, though, that the foundation that Marty Weinberg was standing on during his time speaking and answering questions from these judges, he was standing on a much more solid foundation. I felt the judges were asking very thorough questions to best understand exactly why it was that the defense was appealing what had gone on in that trial. And I thought that they had asked questions again to deeply understand what was their purpose. Now, when it came time to Caleb Schillinger, the ADA, I felt that a lot of those questions were actually trying to figure out just what his purpose was in general, meaning that he did not have much ground to stand on. He had a paper-thin argument, and at one point, he was trying to make an argument that this jury had been sitting around living life for 4 months, And one of the judges came right back and said, well, we once reviewed a case that had brought back a jury after 10 years. And they were really picking him apart on a level that made it seem to me that it was clear that they felt that the defense had a much stronger argument than the Commonwealth was trying to have today in court. And that stood out to me like a sore thumb, because he was up there and he was making generalized statements. Well, in 4 months, this could happen. And a lot of times he was even being corrected by a few of those judges, which was absolutely notable as well. So those are some things that really stood out to me today. But I felt from across the board, the general gist that I got, and trying to be unbiased and objective about this as I possibly can, as tough as that can be, I felt that there's no reason why this shouldn't favor the defense. The only problem is that are they going to burden Auntie Bev's dear beloved court in the land of Oz with having to basically take back the jury and have to reevaluate them with a series of questions? And Caleb Schillinger repeatedly tried to argue, the form of questioning, but I thought Marty Weinberg was very thorough in simply saying, guess what? Just answer guilty or not guilty. That's all we really need here. They don't need to go into a whole spiel of how they deliberated, how they came to a verdict, what they did, how they did it.
Yeah, one question. Did you vote guilt? Did the jury unanimously vote guilty or not guilty on this charge?
Right.
Like,
right. Right. And I liked what Marty said too. He goes, the burden's on the Commonwealth here. This is, they were questioning him. It's like, what's really our burden here? The burden's on them. They're trying to put her in a situation that involves double jeopardy, which is retrying her for the same exact counts all over again. And I think most of us at the end of the day can accept and live with the fact that count 2 would be on a future trial if it does happen. But counts 1 and counts 3, when you bring in a jury of 12 people and a couple extra, whatever they call them, jurors, reserve jurors, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to go through this whole trial and process again. And I thought that Attorney Weinberg did a great job of establishing that over and over again, that basically, look, the burden's on the Commonwealth. They're trying to prove why this should go to trial again. And additionally, if that's the case, then why don't you want to poll the jury? That was my argument. Why not poll the jury again? And it's absolutely necessary that they do this. But it was a breath of fresh air to see them make that argument. As frustrating as it was seeing them have to go back in there, or go in there for the first time to basically deal with things that happened in a previous trial, it was kind of like, okay, it sucks they have to do this. But at the end of the day, at least they're here now to make this argument. But I did feel like I thought the judges did a great job. I thought that they were open-minded to a degree that means that they asked the questions of both sides constructively and had good questions. I thought that those judges were well prepared. The more and more I kind of followed them, I kind of got the feel for them. I'm like, okay, they're asking good questions. I'd actually be shocked if they came back and didn't kick this back to Auntie Bev with like, hey, we got some rulings for you that you're going to have to attend to in your courtroom.
See, I would be surprised, but I won't be shocked if they don't. Like, I just feel
I agree.
So much the institutional, there's only so much they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's just, especially all the cases they hear. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I hope so. I like what the attorney said to Aiden outside of court. He said, what did he say? I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think that's a good place to be on this.
It is.
Just couple notes. People commenting, asking questions. Is Betterow coming? No, Betterow is off tonight. We hit him up for like a couple dates this week, and just didn't work out, unfortunately. We can't always get the guy. He's busy.
Yeah.
I know he's been on other shows too, so he was just on Nurse Kim's show the other night. I would check that out. I heard that was really good. What else? Oh, he's on Melanie Little too. He's on both of those shows like this week, and I heard the feedback from, I don't always get to watch all those shows, but I know when they're good because people tell me about it. So if you're looking for Betterow, you can find him there, and we'll try to get him back on, definitely. There's also, we'll jump back to the SJC in a second, but there's also been a filing because, you brought up Bev Cano and you brought up, the regular trial. There's been filings about this April. They're going to try to, both the prosecution and the defense want to delay this until April, an April trial. Looking at Bev Canone, I just have a feeling she's probably not going to go for that. What do you think? Like, even though the prosecution and defense both want to go with April, I think this prosecutor is going to be surprised that, she's not going to go so easy on that. I have a feeling. And I also have a feeling she's not going to go so easy on some of the other stuff he's been asking for, like the Gretchen Voss. What do you think? How do you think she might act on this?
I think you have a reason to be concerned about Auntie Bev. I think anytime anything is brought before her great throne in that courtroom, it's always a cause for being suspicious about exactly what she's going to do. I would hope, though, that hopefully with the Commonwealth also basically being in unison with the defense on this motion to push the trial date back to April 1st, that hopefully that might give it more of an opportunity. But I don't doubt you for feeling the way you feel about that whatsoever, because there's more than enough evidence watching Auntie Bev over the past year to suggest that what you're saying could possibly be more probable than not. But I wouldn't mind this thing getting pushed back just a little bit. But at the same time, I mean, it would give the feds more of a chance to step in if they intended to do that. But I'm not positive. But let's try to. But we should be. I won't be shocked either way. It's kind of one of those things now where you kind of mentally start to accept that one thing could happen, another thing could happen. And Kelly's saying 2 to 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too. I just wonder about the SJC, how quick it would be, but it could take they have a extended time limit. They don't have to act like within a month. They could, it can be a while.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be bad overall, just because of the fact that the defense is dealing with Supreme Court related matters right now as well. And, I'd hate to see that trial get rushed when there might be some time here to get, like Kelly just said, a ruling here that would maybe get things going and use some intermediary time between trials to get this kind of stuff done. So,
I also got Jason Broyles. How do you say his last name? Haley? How do you say Haley's last name?
I'm not sure.
I think it's Broyles. I got him in the green room.
Perfect.
He doesn't have his video on. Should we let him in?
That's it. Oh, I was on this show for a long time without my video on, so I can't say that nobody else isn't allowed to do that, Mike.
Oh, if he's gonna come in with no video, I think he should put the Haley picture up there.
You're right, exactly.
The avatar. I don't even know if he's listening. I can't. I mean, well, I guess we'll pull him up.
Sure.
I invite him in. Let's see if he's up. Jason, are you there? No, he's like out. He's got an avatar, but he's out to lunch.
Yeah.
He's not here. Where is he?
Out to lunch.
Jason, are you home? Oh, he's got another. Yeah, let's remove this one. He's got another one.
Right.
He looks like he connected with another line. Now he's.
Hello.
Hi, you got a lot of sound in the background, Jason.
Yeah, I thought it might be a problem. So
yeah,
I want to talk to you guys, but I am in a truck. Carrying loads of sound and lighting equipment all the way up the East Coast in an undisclosed location at the moment.
So you do some work. I mean, give us we'll put up with the background noise for a couple minutes. What do you got for us tonight? Because there's so much going on with the SJC. We've been talking about that. I mean, and other stuff. Do you have any comments tonight you want to share?
I definitely do want to talk about the SJC. One of the things that I want to remind people of is, as you're watching it, when either of the presenters are up there, when the sides are arguing their case, the justices are asking really hard questions, and people start to read the tea leaves when the first side gets up there and they say, oh, this looks really bad. And then you see they do exactly the same thing, because when you're at that appellate level, their job is to really make you hone in on your arguments, and they are going to play devil's advocate against you while you're up there to try and make sure that you're really getting down to the root of your argument. So I enjoyed that today. I actually thought it was a great hearing, and they did a good job.
Someone just said, who's Jason? I didn't introduce you properly. So why don't you give people a quick rundown on who you are, Jason?
Yeah, Haley Walbrecht, but now on Twitter, I am specifically not Haley Walbrecht, because Haley Walbrecht was my pen name, and I had been writing articles. I think I decided that I was going to kind of jump in the fray and join you guys as an independent journalist back at the end of February and the beginning of March. Before that, I was just your average Twitter commenter. And since then, my true identity was exposed in September, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And now I'm just here. I try to write articles on the Karen Read case, but aside from that, I cover some of the what I like to call sideshow topics, specifically Kate Peter and Gaetani and Mello and conspiracies by the Mass State Police. And I also like to look at the larger scale and scope of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office and the Mass State Police and the corruption that's pervasive among multiple cases, not just the Karen Read trial or the Turtle Boy case. And to that end, I'll be going on with Miss Shorty on Friday to talk Justin Root, and I'll be doing a Spaces with Lacey Jane tomorrow to talk the Karen Read case. So it's something that I really am more and more trying to do this more full time and kind of join you guys in your endeavors.
Now it's funny because you either are like very much hated by Kate Peters, who seems to really have an issue with you, or according to Grant Smith, you're working for Kate Peters. Like that is like I finally got unblocked on Twitter. Thank you, Elon Musk, and I got to read some of Grant's like really funny stuff. Like he is really obsessed that you work for Kate Peters, Jason.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, like a lot of people see Grant write that stuff and they think he's this lovable, affable kind of clown, but he actually believes this. I have contact with people that are in private messages with him. It's not a troll. He really believes that I'm working with Kate Peter, and I guess I don't get it. And I feel bad though, because like we all know our friend Christy out there. Christy used to be married to somebody Russian, so I was able to send a message to Grant and tell him, hey, do you know your second cousin was married to a Russian? And so Grant's oligarchs theory came back up, and the whole, I think he went back into hiding for a couple of weeks.
Oh my God. I mean, he is really tapped sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's true.
Sometimes it's like his baseline is like crazy, but then he gets like extra. Like, that's a sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And honestly, the problem with Grant and that is because you do look at that. We all kind of have fun watching it because it's entertaining. But you have to remember when we talk about cases like the Morris Stringer case, Grant very likely could have gotten Morris Stringer killed.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. And when we look at some of the things that he did, when you see the Lindsay Gaetani, the love of his life, when you see these, back in February and as we got into April, when they started publishing these highly cropped text messages to try to frame a conversation, he's trying to send people to jail. And when he was in jail, when Carney was in jail, he, along with Kevin, Yellow Cottage Tales, and Kate Peter were pushing a story that he was an informant for the federal government on Nazis and skinheads, tried to make it more likely that he would actually get attacked while he was in prison. These aren't good people. They're not good people.
Related, you brought up the Springer story. Related to that, I don't think people realize, too, about myself, is that he filed a criminal witness intimidation charge against me, unrelated to Karen Read, about, way before Karen Read, related to what happened at that cannabis convention. When I saw the video and realized what actually happened and reported on it, he decided to try to threaten me through the Boston police. And he posted the alleged criminal complaint that he filed, and apparently it went nowhere. Apparently the Boston police realized that, reporting is allowed. Watching a video and telling people what you saw in the video about a highly controversial event is allowed. The journalism is still allowed in Boston. So that's the type of person Grant is. He's a menace.
I agree. And isn't it crazy that we see Kate Peter talking about how she's a witness, and if you say anything about her, it's witness intimidation, and talking about Lindsay's a witness, and they're all trying to use the power of the state to shield themselves from criticism, and it's ridiculous. It's horrible.
Yeah, I think they seek it out. I think Grant wishes he was a witness on the Karen Read case. Like, it really, that's the type of people they are. They're like, for me or anybody else that's normal would be like, I don't want to be a witness. I don't want to have to go to court and testify and deal with all this drama. But someone like Grant or KP, they relish it because they look at like, oh, I have special status. I can, it's just really, that's what is really sick about all of this. So I'm glad that you've exposed a lot of it, Haley.
Well, I have one more thing to say about it, which is I didn't realize that he filed a criminal complaint against you, but he also filed a criminal complaint against Moore to try and have him charged with witness intimidation. And luckily, that's since been dropped. The court threw it out. But I have announced on a couple of other shows this week that I'm actually working on starting a YouTube channel myself. And my inaugural video is going to be a video about that case, and I have a very specific angle that I'm going to cover, and it's going to be super compelling. So I'm really excited.
To see that.
It'll be a couple of weeks before it's out, but once it's out, I think everybody's going to be very, very entertained with the take that I've come up with on this case.
The only reason I know about that is because Grant posted it on Twitter, and it wasn't just against me; it was against another guy named Robert, who used to be the president of Mascan. And like myself, Robert was, speaking the truth of what actually he saw go down. So it's very, this is what they try to do. They try to silence people who tell the truth.
That's right. And talk about Mascan. How about an organization that wishes they never met Grant Smith Ellis,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think the only other thing that I have for you guys is I think some people maybe saw that, shortly before your show started today, I posted a thread on Twitter regarding some interaction that I had with Sean on the Gulf over the last day or so. And I just want to say I'm getting a lot of DMs from people who are asking me what's going on with Sean and what's happening. The answer is that I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. And at the end of this process where we are now, I'm starting to think that maybe I never knew Sean to begin with. So that's kind of where I'm at. So.
Well, check that out. I think I did see that right before I went live. Thank you so much for calling in, Haley.
Thank you guys for having me. Next time I'll do it, from a desk with a proper mic.
Yes.
All right. Have a great day.
Great Take care, Jason.
Nice seeing you, Mazza. Bye-bye.
Yep. Drive safe.
Thanks.
That was Haley on the road. It looked like he's going to a show or something, delivering some music equipment. Right. It reminds me of like when I was in my 20s and 30s and working with bands, and it's the good old days. Yeah. Good old days. I'm too old now. Now I fall down and I'm hurt for a week. Jesus. Mazza, it's one I had COVID and then I fell. It's just I've been really struggling, man.
Yeah. That's all right. It happens,
Old people shit.
Yeah.
Don't try me though. I still got the right and the left.
Right. That's
my girlfriend keeps coming up to me and she's like, show me where it hurts. Show me where it hurts. She knows she's going to get me when I'm down.
Yeah.
Going to get me when I'm down.
No matter how banged up you are, Mike, you always get your old 1-2 punch ready to go, sir.
Oh, so I'm ready. As long as I can throw that, I'm good. I am good. No crying tonight.
No, that's right. Toughen up.
Yeah, I'm ready to be tough now. You guys want to come at me? I'm going to jab you a few times or slap you. This is what we used to do in wrestling. We'd get back and you do the shake up, you hit them a couple times in the chest, you grab their head, and then you whack them on the left, right in there. You're done. You do the,
oh yeah.
I don't want to mispronounce it. What kind of martial arts do you do again?
I just call martial arts just because the type of martial arts I do can be easily Googled and pinpointed to my location. So I can't,
I see.
I'll just say martial arts. I just say martial arts. Yeah.
So you know all about.
Oh yeah. I know about getting punched and hit and thrown to the ground and throwing people to the ground and, getting accidentally punched in the face and accidentally punching somebody in the face. And, I got a couple of scars and scratches that I still have from 4 or 5 years ago, the old
violence.
Oh yeah. The old stuff. It's great though. Yeah. It helps you out quite a bit. I mean, it just puts you in a great, position mindset. To kind of, it does. It really does.
And physically too. It does. It really, it centers you. Yep. I think it totally centers you.
Yeah, it does. Oh, absolutely. It gives you a lot of confidence too. I mean, like most people, when they get in confrontations, they posture a lot. They talk a lot of smack. You don't know me. You don't know. I'm from here. I'm from, I don't care whether I know you or not or where you're from. I don't care about any of that. But this is, if you want to fight, but don't sit here and posture to me for 20 seconds. It just gets, ridiculous to listen to. Most people say that kind of stuff because they're intimidated and they don't want to fight and they're trying to scare you off. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's the guys that don't talk. the shit of the
that's
ones
what
you
it
gotta
is.
worry about.
That's exactly right. You know, someone's
Ugh.
like, I'm from Brockton, I'm from Quincy. It's like, well, that's great. I'm from a town too. That's awesome. I mean, like, if you want to fight, let's. You know, it
I
just
just look
gets
at their stance too. Like
yeah.
I know, right?
Oh yeah.
It's funny. A real fighter will know. Like if you're talking shit, they'll
Yeah.
know instantly whether you can fight by just the way you're standing.
Oh yeah.
Because people don't know how to fight. Like they don't
That's
even know
exactly
the
right.
basics of like combat or stance
None.
or any of that shit. It's just
None.
funny.
And then they're not in shape to fight. I have so many people that
Well,
join
that's
our,
my issue
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
I would not see that. That's why if I was gonna get like, I will never get in a fight. I don't get in fights. But if I was gonna get in a fight, I'd want to end it like very quickly because I know I'm fucking old and out of. Even though I walk dogs every day, I am not getting on the mat and wrestling for 10 minutes like I used to. Like back in the day. I would have been able to go an hour with you. Like I would have been like, like today, 30 seconds, I'm probably going to be out of breath. Cause like if we're walking, I can walk all day, but fighting is different. Like even today, my body, how achy it is just from that one fall, back in the day, that would have been nothing for me.
It's like my instructor always says, it's a whole different form of cardio. Running or playing another sport or martial arts, it's a different form of cardio. You have to be in condition for it. And that's the thing about most people. They either don't know how to fight to save their life, or they're not in shape and they want to talk tough and start throwing fists. And after they throw 3 or 4 fists and none of them connect, you're just backing up and blocking them like this. And you're like, do you still want to go? Are you sure you still want to do this? Do you still feel certain about this?
It's funny. I've won fights and not thrown a punch several times.
Oh, yeah.
And they've thrown punches. And also, and it's funny too. Like, I always look at one of my favorite bands is Pearl Jam. The lead singer is a surfer. And I look at surfing as similar as like fighting in martial arts in a way, because you're kind of riding a wave. Like when a good fighter, good wrestler, good judo, you're basically using them against it's almost like you're riding a wave. You're basically looking for the right time, the right place, and boom, it's over. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing in a way. So it's funny how surfing is kind of there's an art to the sport of boxing and wrestling and fighting and all that. And most of these beatheads don't know. They have no clue.
No. So many people join class and they can't handle it. They quit after like a couple of weeks. And I tell everybody that's new, I'm like, listen to me, you were going to be struggling to get through class for the first 3 months. I remember doing it myself and did not think I was going to make it. Because I'm trying to prevent them from quitting, because a lot of people are not trusting that in 3 months they're going to be in great shape and they give up. They come in the door because they feel like they're out of shape. They want to learn something. And then they do the class for a couple of weeks and they're dying during class. And then they quit and then they absolutely gain nothing. Or someone like myself and others understand this and actually still are going to the class years down the road, because you understand that training is training. The only way you're going to get in shape is by actually doing it and practicing it on a regular basis. So.
I could specifically remember the first week of wrestling practice where my best friend and I, who he was a stud too. Like he went the sectional. He's a good wrestler, and we were both in the nurse's office, like hurting, like because it was so bad. We were looking like we're gonna quit today. Yeah. And this other kid comes in that's on the team that wasn't as good. He talked us into not quitting. He ended up quitting later.
Oh, jeez.
Like, thank God. Like it's so funny. Like just that little pep talk.
Yeah.
It kept us in there, and it's exactly what you said. The first day I fell down, they were laughing at me. Yeah. But 3 months later, nobody was laughing at me. No. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You got to put the 3 months in. It's not that long. Yeah. So
that's right. Yeah. Your body will condition to it. So.
Yep. So we've talked about martial arts. We got Brian Beret here. I didn't even realize I got
nice.
So caught up in martial arts. So let's bring him up.
Yeah.
Attorney Brian, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Brian.
Did you get bored by us talking about wrestling and dude talk?
No, I've been thinking of taking up sumo wrestling.
Oh, I love that. Oh, baby. We used to do that practice. The sumo. Oh, I love that. Push him out of the
kind
circle.
Of shape I'm in now.
It's so basic. Yeah. Let's do it. As long as I don't have to wear the big diaper. I never understood that part of it. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
So Brian, maybe I can challenge Mike Morrissey to...
There you go.
We'll put that on pay-per-view.
That would work. You can put that on the undercard.
What if we put like 50% it goes to his retirement fund?
So I just got home and I listened again to this morning, and I'll tell you, the DA's lawyer got smoked.
Yeah, that's
You
an
think so?
understatement.
Why do you say that? Tell us why.
Every time he was trying to push this idea that the defense was going for a mistrial. That's why they were pushing the jury with all these instructions, and they weren't having any of that. The SJC was just pushing back. And I can tell you, I was in front of them a couple of years ago. It was a year and a half ago. The same three in the middle were the ones questioning me. And there is the female Wentland. She's the assassin up there. And she asked really tough questions, and he did not have answers for her questions. So I think she's probably I don't want to say the smartest one up there, but I just did. So she was an IP, an intellectual property lawyer in the past, and she's very analytical. She asked really good questions. So I think they got smoked.
Yeah. Well, one of the comments.
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Maz.
but one of the things she said to actually, I forget his name. I'll just call him Caleb Schillinger. Was she goes, "Why is the Fifth Amendment any less than the Sixth Amendment?" That was like, it really threw him off his game, didn't it? Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a great one. She also said, doesn't the public have a right to know that the jury reached a decision? I think, I've watched her in other cases, and she's pretty transparent. When she has an opinion about something, she asks her questions, and you can see where she's going with it. So
what do you think that might indicate, like in terms of results?
Well, I mean, not my field. Remember, I've been before you found Betterow, I was saying, where are the criminal trial lawyers? And now I'm amend that and say, where are the Massachusetts criminal trial lawyers? But
I'd love to have more of them on the show, but I don't know. I mean, even that guy that goes on like court TV, Peter Ellikin. I've reached out to him. He doesn't get back to me. It's like, I don't know. I don't know where they are.
Maybe you're not paying enough.
We paid nothing. I mean, come on. Especially a guy like that. If I'm going to pay someone, I pay Mazza. Not like Betterow.
Thank you.
Like Betterow won't take our money. Like that's the kind of guy that, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, come on. Like, because we're bringing them business. Like when I have because I've had a lot of other attorneys on the show too. And some of them hit me up later and they're like, dude, I got business from your show. Like they get clients. So, I mean, come on. Like that's what I don't get with some of these dudes. I'd be on every show like Betterow does. Like if I was doing that type of business.
So with the caution that it's not my field, I'm still going to tell you that I think Karen's going to win this.
That's what I want to know. You think she's going to win?
It feels like, the fact that the lower court judge assumed the truth of this. They might actually say you don't even need a hearing because the judge assumed the fact. But I think they're going to send it down. I think they have a rule. They have a long period of time to write decisions. I don't remember. It's like 4 months. It's I think 115 days. They have a rule. It wouldn't shock me if we had this by mid-December. I mean, I think they realize that this is an ongoing case. But that's just a guess.
Right. And considering double jeopardy, it's a pretty big ruling that they need to make on this because a woman's innocence is on the line here for having to go forward with the second trial and risk basically have to face double jeopardy against, 24 jurors instead of 12. It's a pretty serious issue here.
And they might have gone back to talk about it right after because usually they have a schedule and they go, you're done. The next one's up, and it's within a minute. They just back to back to back. The fact that they took a break means probably means that they went back to talk about it.
It seemed like they went a little longer too than they
Yeah.
were supposed to on it. Did they? Do you think they went longer?
Yeah, the official rules are each side gets 15 minutes.
Mhm.
But I think Martin Weinberg? Is that
Yes.
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 I think he went 44 minutes over. I mean, I think he had 40 or 40. He went way over 40 minutes. The other guy went over by maybe 8.
Yeah. Caleb Schillinger, ADA.
It's funny. Kelly Reed is. I thought it was Kelly Reed. It's Kelly Real. She calls him Case Law Daddy. The Martin. What's his name? Martin Weintraub.
Weinberg.
Martin Weinberg. Yeah.
Excuse me.
He was
He
excellent.
was. Yeah.
And the fact that they spend more time with him means they had a lot of questions. Then this is really a case of first impression. I mean, I've Googled this. I've done research on it because I was interested. There's no case like this. That's why the court was asking, "What's your best case?" I mean, it's always a tough question. It's kind of a lazy question too. I don't want to have to read everything else. Tell me which one to read. But he didn't have a case. He didn't have a case he could really cite because this is such a new kind of thing. So I think he was really impressive. They didn't push back on him. They didn't contradict him. When the other guy came up, he was pushing conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
and they were pushing back. Yeah.
He's like, well, the jury was really tired after 10 weeks and exhausted. Then someone said, well, if they were so exhausted one of the judges said, well, after 10 weeks, if they're so exhausted, then isn't that only more of a reason to make sure that this had a thorough ending and you just wouldn't declare a mistrial? It's that kind of comment that makes me think that these justices are going to rule in the favor of the defense when I hear things like that, because that was a pretty explosive response, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they're just testing ideas up there.
Of course.
I mean, the last case I had, I felt like that I had them. One of them was asking me questions about how to structure an estate plan, and it just felt weird, within the context of the case, the questions I was being asked. But they just ask questions. They're thinking things through. But their questions, they were pushing back on the DA's office, and I try to listen with an open mind. Frankly, I'm a little biased in this case after all this time, but I didn't hear him make a lot of good points. I'm not talking about Marty. I'm talking about
ADA.
Correct.
The DA's office. It is troubling when you don't have a verdict. You don't have a slip. But they got to push back. I think they can push back and say judges must do this type of inquiry.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going to be. And if they decide that judges must in the future, they might say, in this case, it's too late and double jeopardy attaches. It's possible. I don't know. You can try to read tea leaves, but I didn't. I really didn't hear a lot of good stuff from the DA's office. I'm trying to pull up anything good they said, and I'm at a loss.
What do you think about the reporting that Aiden has recently made that certain ADAs have turned down retrying Karen Reed, and that's why they actually had to hire Hank Brennan, because the top ADA isn't Lally. It's another guy. I forget his name. His last name is Connor. I remember that last name, Connor because of a friend, actually, 'cause similar names, similar spelling. But the last guy, that guy, he said no. He said, I'm not doing it, apparently. That's what Aiden has been reporting. What do you think about that? Like, that they have to go outside of their own office to try Karen Read with a prosecutor. I mean,
It's
that's
laughable. It's laughable. And I wonder, can he do that? I mean, I know that there's some law that allows him to go for federal funds for certain things, but I don't know, where does he get the authority to do that? Somebody needs to look at that. Maybe if you ever find a Massachusetts criminal trial lawyer, maybe they can find that out.
it's funny. I used to have a guy that came on, and I hit him up recently. He didn't get back. I don't know why. And he got customers for coming on too. I don't. Maybe he's too busy now. He's a
I
former
get
ADA
nothing.
too. John Seed. You know what? I'm gonna shout it out. If you know John Seed, tell him he has to hit us up and come on the show. Or you know any other former ADAs in Massachusetts? We did have what's her name? Can't remember. Well, I'm losing my mind. McMahon's come on. She's
Oh,
one
right.
of them.
Yep.
So we have had there have been some, but we need more that talk about Karen Read. You're right.
There was somebody who ran for DA in Bristol County. A woman. I don't remember her name.
That's Shannon. That's what
That's
I said.
Shannon?
McMahon.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been on the show.
She was great.
Yeah, she is.
She was great.
Maybe
but-
we'll have her back on, but I'd like to get some others too. I think that's a follow-up question I want to ask you tonight. Like, have you heard? Like, for people that don't know, Brian is an estate planning attorney. Am I getting that right?
Right.
So you deal with the finances, the legalities. You're an attorney. You help people out with that stuff. So you talk to other attorneys. I know you do, especially
Sure.
around that type of business stuff. Are they talking about it? Like, what do you hear from the legal community in Massachusetts on Karen Read, or they just not tuned into it? What do you think?
I have not talked to a lawyer who thinks she's guilty. I haven't even had clients who think she's guilty. I had one, and she was all stuck in the why did she make a call at 5 a.m? And she was stuck on, I thought, the gossipy part of things. But no lawyers really think. I've even had police officers in talking about that with me who hadn't heard about the case, and then when they came back, they said, "Yeah, there's something weird there." Right. So
Interesting.
I don't know why Morrissey is doing this, and I wonder if he's trying to get anything out of this, so he's got a defense in some
The
other
feds.
case.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
know?
about the Fed. It seems like it. It seems like it's all about the feds.
All right. So, um, I,
Anything
I-
else you got for
I
us
got-
tonight?
Mike, if I'm going to be doing a webinar, I think, for my clients, and I do webinars about things that I think are tie into something. What should the Karen Read's parents' estate plan look like? Because either she's going to be very rich, or she's going to need
Yeah.
help.
You're
It's gonna-
going to protect some
we got this-
assets.
You got disparities there, so I might do that.
That's interesting.
Unless if you want to carve out 20 minutes someday, maybe we could do it here. But it's they shouldn't be leaving
ask
anything.
The audience. Does the audience want to hear that?
They should not be leaving money directly to her. Right? Either she's going to wind up with estate tax problems because her net worth is so high, or she's going to need this money to live on because she's being sued relentlessly by Paul O'Keefe.
We'll see what happens with all that. It's first world problems or awful world problems. One or the other.
And I've had clients who've known Paul and John too. and it's like, it's amazing. I used to have an office in Hingham, which was 1 block away from Weymouth. So I have a lot of clients from Norfolk County. And what I've heard is that family drinks a little too much. But I mean,
think we kind of figured that out.
I think, yeah, I don't think I needed a client to tell me that, but
Yeah, I
you know,
think we all kind of figured that one out. The OUIs and the John drank. I mean, it's obvious John drank. John was a drinker.
yeah. All right, so this was a good day, I thought.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
thought it
clean
was
judicial
a
court.
very good day. It's just,
Yeah.
will the SJC, you know, they got to know that this case is going to be cited in the future.
Yeah.
You know,
Which
Yeah.
they probably want, right? Is that what they look for, you think?
well, I mean, they know they're making new law, so they're going to be very careful about how they write this. You know, it might be optimistic to think in about a month, but they also know there's a trial, and this affects the trial, so maybe they'll push it. Okay.
That's a good point. Like you would think it would take at least a month to write a law like this, to write it, like if they were doing it quickly.
I had one case where they took 9 months to write the opinion?
Apparently,
It was
that's how
at
long
least
they could take.
6.
Yeah.
At least 6, maybe 9. But that's why they have that rule in place. They have a rule that
How
they
long it
must
can take.
enter a decision by a certain date, and then they have the right to waive it. So when they're not done, they waive it.
Well, I don't think they'll do that in this case. Hopefully not. I think they know there's a time limit, and we'll see. But I thank you so much, Brian, for
All right.
giving us kind of that insight about, especially the SJC. It's very helpful, and what you saw today too.
You know, if you're gonna watch again, watch Justice Wendlandt, the woman
Second in from the left.
second from the left.
Yeah.
You know, she you know, I remember those eyes. You know, she hones right in and asks you she gets right to the heart of what she's thinking is the major issue, and she went right at them. So I think we're going to have a good result.
Excellent. And we did stream that live on our YouTube today for people who want to watch it. I may play it again at the end of the show. Maybe we'll just redo it again so people can watch it who haven't watched it yet. Maz, do you have any comments or questions for Brian before we let Brian go too?
Yeah. I want to know what your opinion was on one of the justices making the comment to Caleb Schillinger when he said, just because they are read, the jury, of course, are read Tui Rodriguez, doesn't mean that the jury has consented to a mistrial once.
The jury has consented to a mistrial?
Right, yeah. So basically, in essence, he said, just because they're read Tui Rodriguez doesn't mean that the jury has consented to a mistrial. It was a comment that he made.
It's not the jury that would consent. It would be the defense. I think it might have been the defense. Right. I mean, that's what the
No. He said that in context to the jury. That's how he worded that. He actually said it about the jury because the jury was read the Tui Rodriguez. Then they came back and said that doesn't mean that they basically what he's saying is that just because they're saying that they're deadlocked and that they've been read Tui Rodriguez doesn't mean that they had to come back and say, oh yeah, just making a mistrial, no problem at all. That's kind of what the judge was saying back to the ADA today, was that basically because he was making it seem like, oh, it's just declared a mistrial, it's cool, whatever. And then the judge was saying that basically that doesn't mean that the jury is just outright saying, you know, yeah, you read as Tui Rodriguez, just declared a mistrial, whatever. That. Do you recall that?
I don't remember hearing that. I remember it from the other angle, that it was from that he was trying to push the idea that the defense was asking for that so that they could get a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
And then the justices were pushing back and saying it could go either way, right? I mean, how do you characterize that as trying to get a mistrial when it's geared toward getting a verdict?
Good point.
So I mean, that's when I first started thinking this guy's getting smoked.
Good. They deserve it. They deserve to get smoked. You know?
Right? You never know what's going to come out of a court, you know?
Yeah. So someone in the comments is saying we're both right, but we're talking about different things. Because Tui Rodriguez came up a few times, so we're remembering different things. So that's it. So
Thank you so much, Brian. The chat is enjoying you commented tonight. I had a super chat I'm going to read. It's kind of, I'm putting it off. I want to know what you guys think about the super chat. They say, reported by the Vanity Fair that Aiden makes 50 grand a month from YouTube and other channels donations, yet he can't afford his legal fees. I mean, if you guys want to say something first, but I'll just say, it's a lot of money to defend yourself to those charges. Like it's more than even 50. I don't know what he makes. I don't know if that's correct.
How would anyone other than Aiden know what Aiden makes?
Yeah. And number two, like, I think he's earned it on his show. I think he deserves it. Like, people, if they want to give money to him, I think that's up to them. I think they give money to him because they appreciate what he's doing and appreciate the info he delivers. You don't say that about the Boston Globe or WCBB or anybody else collecting money for their coverage. But I also add, it's a lot of money to have criminal defense attorneys. I don't think that Aiden's salary, even though he is probably making some coin, is nearly what this criminal defense fund is going to cost. Right. And he's got 2 kids too. So, and he's also going through a divorce. So, I mean, think about it. Think about what you're saying there. And I think that you're probably one of the McAlbert trolls. If you're someone who's not a McAlbert troll and you have that reasonable question, that's fine. But I just question where that comes from. But who was
the source? It said a source informed her. Was that Ken Mello? Remember Ken Mello said that he might be making, what, $5 million a year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was the reporter. That was October of 2023. One of the reporters from Channel 5 had asked him if he was making $5 million a year, but he had misspoken about an article about another person with a similar name. That was some kind of confusion like that. Yeah, it was from a guy from Channel 5. Outside of Stoughton District Court.
Yeah, and I don't get why, if people want to donate to what Aiden's going through, why it's that person's concern. It's funny that he gave me $10 to make that comment. Thank you. Thank you for the $10 to complain that we're trying to get people to donate to Aiden's defense fund. But you know what? We have it linked right now. There's, I keep putting that up. There's a couple links. We've been putting them up throughout the night in the chat. There's the Karen Reed Defense Fund. There's the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. We keep alternating them at the top of the chat tonight, pinned. I hope people contribute. I really do. I hope people kick down some money. If you're frustrated about all the shit that's been going on, it's a good way to make a statement, I think.
I'll let me mention one other thing about the SJC. I had a Zoom meeting with Aiden about a month and a half ago, where I was trying to convince him to do an amicus brief for the SJC. He might still be able to send a letter in, because they didn't have in front of them the fact that the foreperson was asked to let the judge know and ask and bring that up, and chose not to. That might impact their thought process here, because they look at this well-crafted letter and think the whole jury wrote it, and they don't realize that the foreperson was blocking the information getting to the judge.
It seems really fishy, the way that letter was written and what it said.
So after the court has heard something, a letter can be sent in, and whether they accept it or reject it is up to them. But I've seen letters appear on the court docket afterwards. So if Aiden is listening, I encourage him
to send it in.
To send in a letter, just simple letter explaining the foreperson was blocking this information getting to the judge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully those charges get dropped pretty damn soon. Hopefully, like you said, by December, January, we're hearing just one count. That would be so good news.
Will the judge even extend the trial date?
I know. What do you think? I said no, because I know how she is. What do you think on that?
No idea. She got officially assigned to this case today. It's on the court docket.
Yeah.
There's also another thing that Mazza brought up too on the court docket. They're trying to go after Gretchen Voss's
Yeah.
notes again, the stuff
Right.
that Canone already said no to earlier in the first trial. Do you think Canone's going to get annoyed that they're asking again for the same shit that she already said no to?
I mean, she's probably annoyed by everything in this case at this point.
Good answer. Good answer.
I mean,
I don't know why she accepted
She
it.
seems annoyed, like on like stuff that's brand new. Like, never mind all this shit that's already happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or like you could like walk in and give her like $100, $100 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and she'd be like, like she just seems like she's annoyed at everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could bring her ice cream, and she'd be like, wrong flavor. Like, she just doesn't seem like she's very happy. I don't know. It's funny because I did see the pictures of Judge Canone with some of the Free Karen Read people at the bar, like at a restaurant. And that's where she actually looked happy. Like, I was like,
That's true.
that's it. Canone likes to go out and have a drink and dinner. That's when she finally friggin' smiles and relaxes. That's what she seems like to me. It seems like otherwise she's like,
Well, if you really want to know, why don't you ask her husband to be on the show?
You think he'd come on?
No.
Yeah. You always ask me for people. You're like, Mike, you should get this person. I'm like, never coming on. I guess,
Never.
they're never coming on. Unless, like you said, how much money can we raise? We could raise some money, maybe. Maybe that's what I need to do to get some of these never will come on. I'll start offering like major money, right? Well, maybe we can ask Aiden to sponsor us for 50 G's. I'm teasing now. All right. Brian, thank you so much for being here tonight.
See ya.
Where can
Take
people
care.
find you on Twitter? Say your Twitter handle again.
Oh, at Estate Plan.
At Estate Plan. Follow Brian. Thank you so much, Brian, for being here
Have a
tonight.
good night.
You
Bye.
too.
Take care.
And that's Brian Beret. We've had a couple of people scrolling in tonight, Mazza.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Surprises.
Absolutely.
I don't even tell you.
Right. I know exactly. Like I figured you probably have a couple of guests. Usually when we're short of it, we're down an M. Usually you're always going to wheel out a lot of good guests here.
I had someone that booked earlier. Like I thought it was just going to be the three of us actually.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name. They would have been like a first time guest. They probably called in before, but they're like a Canton related person that I was excited to have on. And then they kind of said like today, they were like, oh, I can't do it. I just can't. I'm too worried about repercussions like that. People are still very worried, unfortunately, about speaking out. It sucks, you know. What are they saying now? I saw you look over at that. I can't even read it. I'm like, no, I am not a troll. So they love Aiden. They're saying.
So the 50K I can clarify on the previous super chat is that it's not from his YouTube account because his YouTube account is demonetized. So it's all off Cash Apps and donations on his webpage, just things like that. I think that's where the money, I can't speak to that. I don't know, but I can just say it's not coming from YouTube is what I can clarify. So I don't know how much, I don't know. It's none of my business really. It's how I feel.
Yeah, it's none of our business. And you know what? It's up to people if they want to donate to the cause.
Right.
I think it's worthy. You're not just, I think Aiden deserves the support personally, but you got to also consider you're not just supporting Aiden. You're supporting everybody who's spoken out on this. You're also speaking out, supporting all journalists, like especially in Massachusetts, because this law is draconian and it is used against us a lot. So if Aiden can win this case, this will be good for everybody else. So that's what I would more focus on than Aiden's personal situation.
Exactly.
And consider too, like, why should Aiden lose out? The guy's been through the ringer. Like, I look at what that little pressure did to me in January. I still feel like I got PTSD from it. I can't imagine. He's got 2 kids. They put him in jail for 60 days.
Yeah.
He's looking at 40 years in jail. And he's got 2 lawyers that are major, I guarantee you, dollars. I mean, he's got 2 of the best, but at the same time, you know how much money they must have to pay them? So Bettero's flying in, he's staying at hotels, his dinners. We hung out with Betterow. He's not eating McDonald's, like Karen Read said about Jackson. Bettero's at, he's eating that filet with the Chardonnay. Not even the Chardonnay, the red. He likes the red and maybe a little, scotch? We miss Federer. We gotta get Federer off. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely miss him. He's so educated, and his comic wit is great. Plus, he's a great Celtics fan, so that's for sure.
Mike, your mic's off again.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
No,
I'm like, really?
He says it to me. I got you this time.
You did, yeah. I'm like, wait a second, it's mine.
No. I think your mic's off.
Yeah, well, that might be a good time to check my mic. Yeah, seriously. It happens to me occasionally too. I admit it. Actually, one of my shows earlier today, I was on mute. It wasn't working. I had to kill the show and restart a new one. It was like, what's going on? I don't know.
Sometimes it's technical issues.
It is weird. Yeah. Yep.
I got a board, and I got the computer, and then I got StreamYard, and so like I think people don't realize that. Like sometimes it could be any of the three. It's just like, but hey, it works out.
Absolutely.
I think we're very lucky to be able to do all this from home. I love it.
I agree.
Back in the day, you'd have to go to and pay a studio and an engineer, and it wouldn't be video. It'd just be like streaming audio. That's how we started doing shows way back in the day, and it's so much better now.
Yeah, I remember a few of my friends. They actually had to go to Radio Network in Worcester to do their programming, and get their hour of allotted time every week, late at night. Like 10 o'clock at night. But yeah. Internet.
I used to do that at different stations. Actually, they actually gave. It's funny. My show they never charged, but some of the stations we started with back in the day, they used to charge people. Like $50, $100 an hour to do a show. It was like basically pay to play in a way.
Yeah.
And you try to get your sponsors, and now it's great. You don't need to do any of that BS.
Right. Exactly.
We're at the right place, right time. I love it.
Yeah.
Mazza, you want to take some phone calls tonight and see what people think about all this shit?
Let's do it.
All right,
bring them on.
Let's let me turn it on first. I gotta turn on the. And again, I want to thank what is it? Nana King for making the super chats tonight. She made 3 of them. $19.99, $4.99, and $9.99. Thank you so much. All right, let's turn it on. All right, I think we're connected, hopefully. Sometimes it doesn't work the first time, but we're going to try it out. I'm going to throw the phone number up right now. If anyone wants to call in, you got any comments about the SJC? Maybe you want to comment on some of the other online controversy, or even, God forbid, politics. We don't want to talk about it, but if you want to say something about it, that's cool. You can do so. This is your opportunity. It's open line. You can say whatever the hell you want on here. Just I ask, don't swear too much. I don't like the swearing. If you do call in, turn down whatever you're listening to us on, because it echoes back. You got to turn off your computer. You got to turn down the audio on your phone. But call us. It's 978-560-3155. If you want to call in and speak to Mazza now, you have any questions, comments, support for us. And I'm waiting. I know somebody's going to call in because we got 1,272 people right now.
Wow.
We're doing all right.
Right.
We've had over 1,000 the whole show. It's just steady Eddie. People are sticking around and watching us tonight. Here we go. No caller ID. These are always the risky ones, Mazza. These are either the best caller or it's going to be some kind of troll. Trolls can be fun too, though. Hey, who's calling?
I'm not a troll.
You're not a troll. What is your? Do you mind saying your name for us? You sound very sweet already.
Oh, thanks. My name's Beth.
Beth.
Yeah.
How you doing today? What do you have for us?
Hi. Thanks for doing the show tonight, guys. I haven't called in before, so I'm kind of nervous. But I'm in Washington State, and I've been listening, and watching you and Turtle Boy since I think April, like just right before the trial began. So, I guess. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I just wanted to highlight again that last guest that you had on had a great point about Turtle Boy or anyone really bringing to the attention to the SJC about the foreperson not allowing the other jurors to ask questions about those two charges. I didn't realize, because I listened to some of the coverage, I didn't realize that wasn't provided, that information wasn't provided to the SJC. So I hope that, as many of us, I think, could write letters as possible about that point. I think it's just really important to highlight that.
Excellent. And how long have you been following this from Washington State, Beth?
I think since April, right before the trial, or maybe I guess it started on April 15th. So, I heard about it on, what was it called? SPS Nation, I think. Is that?
Yes.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Joel.
Yeah. Joel, yeah, I don't follow him. I don't watch him anymore, and I unsubscribed because I thought he was being really sexist during the Karen Read trial. So I just was like, okay, now I'm not going to support this
Really?
guy
I didn't
anymore.
catch that on him. I've seen other complaints about him, mostly about Turtle Boy, the way he treated Turtle Boy. How is he sexist? Because I don't watch him that much. I mean, when I've seen him, he's all right. Sometimes he can be weird. But what's the sexist stuff? I never heard that about him.
So things were kind of coming to a head emotionally, I think, for a lot of women, about the way, Karen was picked apart by Michael Proctor. And then really the point where I was like, okay, no, I can't listen to this guy anymore, was when they were talking about Paul O'Keefe and Karen Read, and the verbiage that he used to describe Karen Read's face, versus the looks that Paul was always giving her, was just it was really sexist. He was Karen's always scowling at Paul O'Keefe, Karen's always shooting looks at him and all this, and as though he wasn't doing it the entire trial. That's just, and it's really hard for me to explain right now. I don't know why, but
that's a good point. It seems kind of petty too. When someone's fighting for their life, and there's I don't care what I think she's 100% innocent, but let's just pretend you're the guy from STS that may be a 50%. You know what I mean? That's what I'm guessing he's at. He's probably she's 50. There's a 50% chance she's innocent. So even if she's just 50% innocent chance, why would you say something like that? I don't get that.
Right, exactly. And it was just this constant trope almost that I think women have to deal with. And you'd have to go back to you'd have to go back to that episode that he had to just really understand he just was so hard on her and not hard on him at all. And there was just certain verbiage that he was using to describe her, that I was just ooh, no, I'm not staying here. So
I'm glad you called tonight, Beth. You've done a good job. I want to ask you one more question. What do you think about, I'm assuming you follow Turtle Boy. I think you mentioned him. What do you think about his coverage and what he does?
I love Turtle Boy. I have always loved history class and civics and social studies. I just always was naturally drawn to that. And a lot of my family are teachers as well. So I get a lot of feeling about the education that he provides to people. Just about this case. I mean, this case is historic. You always talk about that as well. And I would have to say, you bring a lot of heart into it. And I just want to say, I really, really appreciate the way that you cover it. You bring so much humanity and heart to this world. And Turtle Boy, I don't agree with his politics at all. And I don't even like historically, I don't agree with his approach and the way that he does it, but I really believe in the principles behind what he's doing. And I think that that's more important than anything. And I even watched his coverage of the election last night, and like, I'm a lifelong liberal and I was like traumatized by Trump, you know, the last 8 years. And somehow Turtleboy like kind of bridged the gap to where I'm at least more understanding that other people can have like opinions that differ from mine. I don't have to catastrophize everything, and just kind of like believe, you know, that people have the right to their opinion, and believe in the goodness in people.
That's a great call. You get me blushing, Beth. Thank you so much for calling. You made some great points. I did listen to him last night. I just watched the TV with my partner. I checked out from all social media, everything, and I heard he was saying some good things about me, though. I heard he was saying like we need to check in on Mike. Is Mike all right? Like, did he say some things about me last night? I heard a few people said that. Did you hear any of that, Beth?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually realize that was you that they were referring to. But yeah, people were worried about you, and he's like, no, he's going to be fine. He's fine, you know. And that's what he said. And I know he loves you too. We all do. We all appreciate you.
It's great. The best thing
like
about this
hard.
is that we can be friends with people of differing political values. That's like, I think, one of the best things that's happened with all of this. So thank you. You've done it too, Beth. Thank you so much for calling. Maz, do you have any comments for Beth tonight? First time caller, Washington State.
It's just awesome to hear people from the West Coast, you know, that are following us so deeply as you, Beth. That's absolutely awesome. I think that's absolutely fantastic that you've been following this. You've been following this diligently for a long time, because it really shows us the reach. You know, we know we have a lot of folks all across the country and internationally, but I always think it's it's very inspiring to hear folks from other states are entrenched in this as much as many of us are here in the state of Massachusetts. So definitely appreciate you for that, Beth. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We are rooting for you, and thank you.
Thank you so much. And I love Washington State. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, you know, come on. Love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I once visited Olympia too. I booked a band in the Capitol Theater at Olympia. I don't know if that place is still there. And we booked a show in Tacoma too. So I've been there. I love Washington State. It's great.
It's beautiful. I'm in Tacoma.
Oh, you're in Tacoma. We played a place called the Showboat back then. Do you remember that place?
Oh, were you in a band?
No, I booked the band. I was their manager.
The Showboat. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that sounds familiar. I moved here from Arizona, actually.
Many decades ago. That place is probably gone. Like, it's probably no more.
Okay.
There was a hole in the wall. But yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Colin, for calling.
Oh, just one last thing. Sorry, because Mazza said about like, you know, it's stretching and everything. And I just want to like reiterate that quote about a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice, or, you know, to justice everywhere. A threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King. And so like, I just want to reiterate that you guys are fighting, like you're fighting for all of America. And we love you.
Oh,
thank you, Beth.
Thank you. Keep watching and call again. I loved your call tonight. It was great call. Thank you so much, Beth.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
That was a first time caller. She was great. Yeah. We usually sometimes I move them along, but I was like, I liked her. She was good.
Well, I just want to say for the record that it took one call to talk about politics.
Hey, they talked about it though. We didn't really talk about it. That's what we want though. Like let people vent tonight. We don't have to tell them what they're to think.
Yeah.
Hello. I hung up on him. If you call, you have to turn down your volume. I can't deal with you got to turn it off. I think I lost that one too. I screwed up that one. Call back.
Hold on. I'll call in.
No call. We got plenty of calls.
Yeah.
We got this thing's ringing off. Hi, did you turn down your speaker? Yes, you did.
Yes, sir.
I could still hear it in the background. What's going on?
No, you can't hear me.
Oh, you have a party?
You're
having a party tonight?
No party, sir. No party.
I can hear
I'll turn my TV down.
That's what it is. You got the TV on. Get rid of that Fox News, CNN, whatever it is. Get rid of it. So what's your name?
My name is Peter.
Peter.
From Boston.
Boston. All right. Awesome. We love it. What do you got for us tonight, Peter from Boston?
Yeah, I just want to comment, man. It's pretty disgusting. I find it pretty disgusting what's going on. I don't know if you really want to get into it with this guy, the guy from Florida there, Sean the Gulf. What the hell is going on with him?
I don't know.
Pretty disgusting. It's awful. It's awful. I don't think anybody should be supporting what he's doing. It's pretty awful. I didn't think he was gonna flip like that. I kind of looked up to him, and it's pretty awful. But he's mad because Karen didn't send him prayer hands. Is that what that's about?
I know it's tough for me because I like Sean. I mean, personally, he was there for me, but I mean, some of the stuff he's done, I said I don't want to criticize him, but now I feel like I almost have to because it's just.
I liked him too. That's why I'm surprised. What the hell? He wants to go on Krusty's a page, and he expects Aiden not to be upset about that. They set Aiden up, and he wants to. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's really trying to help Karen out. It seems like after the what do you call it? The story on Karen came out, the recent one. He was upset that he wasn't mentioned on it. He's talking about LTL, how Karen takes them out for dinner. It seems like he's a little jealous. He's not getting the attention that some of the other people are getting. Well, he's way out in Florida. All he's doing is making videos out in Florida and making wild accusations and making assumptions. He doesn't bring receipts for anything. Proctor got fired. There's no proof that Proctor got fired, and then when people call him out on that, he goes crazy. He's going crazy on Aiden because Aiden said that no, he didn't get fired. There's no proof of that, and now he's taking a fit. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. That's all I want to say. I know you're in a rough spot.
No, it's depressing.
It's terrible.
I gotta say, I think we're all kind of depressed about it because, like, I think we all like Sean. I think Aiden likes Sean. We all like him, and I don't get why he's doing this. I really don't. I mean, I know like Sean wants to be his own man, but something not right. I appreciate your call tonight, Peter.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
Please keep watching and call again. That was a good call, Peter. I really appreciate it. I like it. I like the Boston calls. Thank you.
Yeah, Peter.
All right. Take care, man.
See, that's what I like about the phone calls. You know, they can speak their mind.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Because these are the messages and the calls that we get all the time. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure you do, Mazza. I know you do. Mm-hmm. We get, people are always, who's on the phone right now?
I'm calling back from Mexico City.
Mexico City, bro. What's going on? I remember you. What's your name from Mexico City, if you don't mind?
My name's Jim Coffey. I grew up in Westwood off Canton Street, but I've been living down in Mexico City for like Dave. I know Dave Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Mr.
I wanted
Coffey?
Okay, what I wanted to bring up is why I have a problem with Turtle Boy's politics. And I'm going to give you 3 quick examples. One of the things he started with was calling all those people ratchet for like using benefits incorrectly or being horrible people. Donald Trump flew to his own properties 500 times. He charged the Secret Service $2 million for golf carts. He charged them $1.4 million for rooms. These are the people that are supposed to protect them at 3 times the government rate. Every time he has a campaign event at one of his properties, all the money goes into his pocket. I mean, the amount he stole from the taxpayer directly is probably tens of millions of dollars. Doesn't bother him at all. He claims like the Sandra Birchmore case, what they did to that woman was horrible and how the police passed her around and all that kind of stuff. 26 women accused Trump of sexual assault. He was found guilty of rape. He was Epstein's best friend. The recent audio tapes had Epstein talking to a reporter saying he was his best friend. He went on the plane. He bragged about walking in on underage girls at the Miss Teen pageant when he ran it to Howard Stern, and the girls also complained that he did that. So does that actually bother Turtle Boy that Sandra Birchmore was passed around, or is it just something he's willing to ignore with Trump? And the last one is Trump had all those protesters removed so he could walk over and give that photo op, violently removed, and asked, could they shoot them in the legs? Turtle Boy is a free speech warrior. How does none of this drive him crazy? And I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say in terms of your opinion. Is it just cognitive dissonance? He tunes out all those things that he claims are like his guiding principles just so he can accept Trump? Or what is it you guys think?
I'll take it, Mike. So I'll say this. I can't speak for Aiden. I can't speak for him at all. I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. And I'll tell you, when you're a content creator or a blogger or whatever, you decide what you want to talk about and decide what you don't want to talk about. Like me, I don't want to talk about politics. I try to avoid any kind of dissension among anybody on our side. I don't want to talk about it. So I think at the end of the day, everyone makes a personal decision for themselves and how they want to conduct themselves. So I can't speak for Aiden or anybody else but myself.
No, but I mean, if you start off with a whole series on ratchet people and how much it bothers you that they're taking taxpayer money, and Trump easily took tens of millions with all the room and board, he made the Air Force fly out of its way and force the Air Force guys to stay at his properties when they normally stayed at the Air Force bases. So what I'm saying is, like, that was one of his core principles, how he got started, how much he hated people abusing taxpayer funds. Trump does it on a magnitude or level we've never seen. And he's like, yeah, that's my guy. So did he actually care that those people take the money? Or did he just like shitting on, lower class people that have problems?
Yeah, I don't want to pretend to.
Do you understand what I'm getting at?
I do. I don't want to pretend to answer for Aiden. But
Sure.
What I'll say is that I don't follow him for his politics. I follow him for the coverage that he does locally. Like I feel like that he does a lot of good work on that. And I also feel like he's not. I don't think he's as effective politically. Maybe I have that same criticism for myself too. Like, I think when we're doing our best work, it's the Karen Read stuff. It's the other stuff that he's exposed, like the dog grooming company that was the dog training company that abused their dogs, like stuff like that. When he does that stuff, that work, he's highly effective. And I think that Aiden is realizing that too. Like, I think that all of us, we find out what we're good at, what we're effective at. And once we get a taste of it, we want more of it. And I think the problem for a lot of us creators, especially someone like Aiden and myself, is that we run out of material. Like there's Karen Read is like once in a lot. Sandra Birchmore, like this stuff doesn't happen every week. So I think at times Aiden's gone for some of the stuff to keep him going, and maybe it interests him.
Sure.
And I think that we also follow what interests us. And my career as a creator, I've been all over the place. Some of the stuff I've done in the past, I'm not happy. I would be embarrassed about it, honestly. So I give him a lot of leeway because I think the guy's highly talented, and I want to see him continue with the best stuff that he can do, which is, I think, the local news coverage. And I think we're desperately needing it. Like having someone that can investigate, the local infrastructure of corruption and not be scared of it. I love it. And so, like I said, I think,
agree with that.
And I agree with what you said. I think there is a cognitive dissonance with the other side. And I don't want to be wicked negative on them because I think we have cognitive dissonance on our side too. Like, I thought that we were going to win last night and we didn't. And it's pretty obvious, I think, why now. And I think it's about economics, and I think that, I think we're all, like, on all sides. I think we all get caught up. We just want to see our side win. We think we know what's best. So I give him a pass on that shit. And I don't think it really matters in the long run. Like what Aiden says about Trump doesn't make a difference in the world. It doesn't. Like Trump was going to win if Aiden didn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, so, but we wouldn't know about Karen Read without Aiden. So that's what I focus on.
I agree with you completely, and I could not respect more what he's done for Karen Read. I have no qualms there. It's when he talks about how principled he is. And I'm like, the whole thing you started with was shitting on people abusing benefits. That guy does it on a level I've never even seen before, and it's just crickets. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. He's my guy. Well, then was it really? If he didn't talk about how principled he was, I think I would let it slide. It's the fact I got to hear that. Like, I'm the principled guy. You're the idiots that voted for her. And I'm like, well, from what I gather about your principles, Trump is pretty anti-free speech. And that last speech talking about shooting reporters, wanting to take away the license for ABC, kicking the protesters out of the Washington. So that's where it comes from me. I don't know about other people. If he didn't talk about being so principled, I'd just be like, all right, he's a Trump guy, whatever. But when he talks about like how horrible this is, what was done to those women, what about the 26 women with Trump? Crickets. So I just have a problem with the principle comment.
I like your call. I really do. I like that you say it.
Okay.
You say the stuff that I don't need to say. You're saying it for me tonight. I like it. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I like you guys a lot. I watch. The only reason I watch is because someone in Westwood was like, have you seen what they're doing to this Karen Read lady? And my parents live right off Canton Street. It's like a 5-minute ride right to 34 Fairview. So I started paying attention. Then I found you guys, and then I saw you interview Dave Tree and found out you knew each other. So that was just a trip.
Let me ask you another name.
But yeah, that's it.
Let me ask you another name.
Sure.
Jim Coffee. I work with this guy. He's not from around here. He's a national guy in labor. His name's Aiden Coffee. You don't know him, do you? You're not related to him?
Possibly, and I don't know it, but I've never met an Aiden Coffee.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a UFCW union labor rep organizer. I got to catch up with Aiden. I love the guy a lot. But that's why when I hear the name Coffee, I think of Aiden Coffee. It's funny how we were just talking about Aiden, so I thought there's a little synchronicity there. Thank you so much, Jim.
Yep.
I really appreciate it. I love your calls from Mexico City. Please call back again.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for doing what you do.
You too. That's what I love about our show, though. Like, we could have these conversations and we don't let the audience speak tonight, right? Mazza?
Yep. Yeah. Why not?
Why not? There's a lot to get out. Let them get it out.
Right.
Who's on the
Let
phone
them
from
vent,
617? Maybe we'll take a call from a Trumper this time. Who's on the phone? Hi.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Mazza.
Is this Gene? Who is this, Gene?
It's Gene from Dorchester.
Gene from Dorchester. Yes. What's up? How you doing?
Listen, I want to give the last caller a little schooling on politics. All right. First of all, I'm sick of people talking shit about Aiden. All right.
I don't think he was though.
If you
I think the guy kind of liked him.
He was talking shit, Mike. He was talking shit. And let me give you a little schooling. The last dude. All right. Politics, whether you're for Trump or Harris or whoever, they all suck. They all lie. They all steal. They all cheat. They're all losers. So if you get your little panties in an uproar, New Mexico or wherever the hell he's from, then just keep it to yourself because no one cares. All right. No one cares. Aiden, I've been following Aiden for 100 years when he used to call in as just Turtle Boy. Nobody knew he was Aiden to WEEI, and he was Turtle Boy Sports, and he called into all those sports radios and stuff, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and here he is. So what? He does ratchet. Who cares? If he didn't, somebody else would. Who gives a shit? Stop talking shit about the dude who's literally uncovered this whole thing with Karen Read from the very beginning, and if it wasn't for him, none of us would even be talking about it. So don't even call in, you weirdo. Like, who cares?
Oh,
I'm
I
glad
liked it.
Trump won.
Gene, Gene. Gene, I love you, but I like this call. Like, I don't think he was shit and talking. I think he had legitimate questions.
He was shit talking. He doesn't like Aiden for whatever reason. He was probably on his list.
I think he
back
does,
in the
though.
day or something.
I think he's like a lot of liberals. I hear from so many liberals, Gene. They like Aiden on certain things, but they it's like you know what it is? It's almost like they want me to hold their hand. That's what it feels like. It's like they almost want me to walk them through it and be like, it's okay. It's okay to like Aiden. Yeah, I know you don't like his politics, but that's what that phone call felt like to me.
Who cares?
Sometimes people
Mike,
want their hands held. Sometimes people need their hand held.
I grew up in Dorchester my whole life. I live in a liberal state. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm a Republican. My blood bleeds red. All right. And I have so many friends and that are liberals, family members that are liberals, and we just don't even care. You know, who cares who you vote for? Who cares? If that's your choice, that's your choice. That's why we live in America. Who freaking cares? I was thinking about you, Mike, last night. I laughed a little bit, but I was thinking about you. And I felt bad, you know. And even when I watched Harris today, when she finally came out and, you know, said her little speech, I had a little tear in my eye. You know, I was like, I feel bad because she did fight it. You know, she started, you know, from nowhere, you know, and was basically thrown into the ring, you know. She might not even have wanted to do that, but, you know, it took a lot of guts for her to do that. And I respect her for it, you know, and as a Republican, I was happy to see. I stayed up all night. I watched The Glare. I watched Turtle Boy. I was watching everybody. I was up all night drinking coffee. I still am. I can't get over it. But I'm just sick of people talking shit. Like, let's give, you know, and this whole Sean thing, I don't even want to get into that because, you know, at the very beginning, I liked Sean and everything. As I seen him go downhill a little bit, and I kind of just stayed away from it because I don't do good with riddles. I'm a straight shooter. You know what I mean? What's the deal? What's going on? You know, just give me the tea. I don't want to hear if A happened, did B happen, and, you know, F happened, Z. I don't do all that shit. But I will say he is 100% like every single Boston cop I ever met in my life. They're very narcissistic. They're very like, listen to me. If you don't, I'm right, you're wrong. And I'm not comparing him to a murderer or anything, but it's the same kind of person that Brian Albert is. They're assholes straight up. And if you don't agree with them, then you're an asshole. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying he's like that extreme, but he's there's something definitely disconnect going on over there. And I don't think that he's liking that a lot of people aren't kissing his ass or whatnot. You know what I mean? I love Mazza. Mazza, I swear to God, like, you're like the greatest guy. I really think you are. You're like just such a sweetheart.
Thank you,
and
Jake.
I love what you stand for. And I literally love that you always have Aiden's back and the people that are doing good for this whole thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it. And Mike, you know I love you. So I love all you guys. I really do. I love all you guys. And we all want what's best. And like I said, there's going to be a time, there's going to be soon enough, we're all going to have this praise. Aiden's going to get everything that he deserves. Karen's going to be free. And we can all sit back and just reminisce and, you know, and call out all the scumbags. You know what I mean?
People are loving you in the chat right now. They're like, you're a star.
Love all them too. I love all them too. I swear to God, I love all you guys. All I ever do now, my whole life is YouTube. I don't even know why I buy cable anymore. Like, I don't even know why I have a cable bill. All I do is
a lot of people say that. Believe me, I hear that a lot from people. Like, why do I even pay for this when I can just watch all these shows all the time? Yeah.
Right. I just watch even for like regular news now and like the murder stuff and everything. It's just YouTube, and that's what's taking. You know, it's taking over. And
you know what I love too.
And
is
you guys are doing great.
I love that we can have all these different viewpoints on just the people talking with no friggin' corporate masters, no like bullshit, like just people.
Yeah.
So I mean,
keeping
look
it
at us
real,
tonight.
you know, people keeping it real.
Yeah, we're having Trump people on. We got Harris people on, and Mazda and I try not to talk about politics.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. I don't know what Mazza is. I don't care what he is. I know that he's a great person.
Exactly.
I know that he's a nice guy. You know what I mean? I don't care I don't care who he votes for. Mike, I know what you are, and I don't hold it against you.
Yeah, wait, I'm a whiny little liberal. What is it? Whiny liberal man?
I know me and you both smoke weed, so that's you're good in my book.
Yeah, you know that. I'll smoke up with you. Thank you so much, She. We love
All
you.
right.
Thank you for calling. Please
I love
always
you guys
call.
too.
Please never
you,
stop
Jay.
calling
I
our
will.
show. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys.
Turtle Boy is in the comments. He has been probably alerted to that previous caller.
What is he?
Aiden's with us. He's here.
Is he here? Is he? We love Aiden. This has been a fun show. We got another call. Who? Hi, you're on the show. You're with the Young Jerks. What's your name? Who's calling?
Trisha.
What was it? Say that again.
Trisha.
Trissa.
Yep.
With
I'm
a T.
calling from Groton, Mass. 978.
Oh, you don't have to tell us your number. Don't tell us your number. But yeah, you're a 978 area code. Trissa from Groton. What do you think about the show, the callers, anything you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I love you. I've been watching you since the beginning. I met Mazza back in August, and I got a picture with him at the motion trial. I met Turtle Boy, and I religiously watch you all the time. And I have to say, today I was traveling for work, so I listened to the hearing in the car, and I had complete anxiety because I just still feel that everyone is against Karen.
What do you think about? We've had some calls tonight about Turtle Boy, and do you have any comment on him? You follow him too?
I follow Turtle Boy. I love him. I got a picture with him too in August, and I also support him politically. I know that's not favorable, but yes, I think his work that he does is amazing, and I just really hope that. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous.
It's okay. It's okay, Trisha. You're doing good.
I just really hope that things will come to light.
Are you talking about his court cases and Karen Read?
I'm talking about both. Yes, I really hope justice will prevail.
Me too. You have anything you want to add, Mazza? Any questions, comments?
No, it was a pleasure meeting you. A couple months back. That's awesome. It's that's just awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for all that you all do, and I watch you whenever you're on and support everything that you do. So thank you.
Thank you for calling. You're from Massachusetts. I love the 978. That's the area code I grew up in.
Nice.
Do you remember?
Yes,
Trisha,
me too.
Like how long you been 978? Do you remember when it was 508 or even 617?
I do. I've been 978 for a while. I used to live in a town right over from you, Mike.
Nice. So we're locals. I love it. Well, I hope you call again. I really appreciate it. Any last comment you want to leave tonight, Trisha? Trissa.
No, just again, thank you so much for all that you do, and you have a huge following. I have many friends and family that support this, and I hope justice will be served.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for calling. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Take care, Tristan. Have a good night.
Taking some good calls tonight. There it is. I didn't ask Bob. He's one of my favorites, by the way. Ask Bob. So I didn't come to be made sport of tonight. Ask Bob. Come on. Stop picking on me. We got a 207. I don't even know where that is. Who's calling from 207 area code?
This is Susan.
Susan.
And I am calling from Maine.
From where?
Maine.
Lynn? Say that again. I'm having a
Maine.
Lynn, like Lynn Mass?
No, like Maine.
Oh, Maine.
Like
You're
the
in
state
Maine.
of Maine.
You're in Maine. All
Yep.
right. I knew that.
I'm in Maine.
I should have known that. I used to. I go up and see a guy in Maine sometimes. He's 207. That makes sense. That's why I knew that area code. You're from Maine. All right. So what's Maine doing?
Well, I was born and raised in Worcester. So I live in Maine now, but I've followed Turtle Boy for a very long time. But I actually called because I missed the live, well, I didn't miss the live show, I guess, but I rewound you all the way to the beginning. And I just want to say that, this Karen Read movement has brought in the best of the best people together. And it has brought out a lot of bad in people. And those are the people that we want to shy away from. And, no matter what your politics are or is, you have to live your life and be kind and generous and forgiving, because at the end of the day, that president's not coming for you. They're not going to help you get through life.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but like, Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we hit high. And just the fact that you guys are saying the same exact thing, between you and Maz, you guys are really good dudes. And Aiden is just Aiden. And you either love him or hate him, but you have to love the fact that he is not scared. He will fight to the end of the earth just to make sure an injustice is not just noticed, but fixed.
Absolutely.
That's what we as citizens are supposed to do. So, and Jean from Dorchester, she is my spirit animal. I absolutely love her. And she's right. All of you guys are just loving people, and it's brought a lot of good, and it's given a lot of people voice. LTL, you, Maz, you got Will, we got people all over the world. And when this story first came out, nobody wanted to listen to Aiden. Nobody wanted to listen. And he was like, fuck it, I'm getting the bullhorn. Somebody's going to listen. And guess what? We're listening. And we're seeing a lot of things that really, honestly, it's scary. It's scary. And if we don't unite as one, we'll be a cult, but we're going to be the happiest cult we are. And Karen's going to be free. And at the end of the day, we want justice for John, and we will get justice for John.
I hope so. I really hope so. Thank you so much for calling tonight.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to rewind now so I can watch the rest of you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
From
Have a
Maine.
good evening.
I love it. I love the Maine calls. She had a little crackling go on, so I want to move that one along. I think how about we take one more call? We've been at 2
All right.
hours.
Hopefully this is the troll.
Yeah, Mazza. I don't want to keep Mazza too late. You want a troll? This is Nova Scotia. It looks like we got Canada calling tonight. Who's on the phone?
Hello.
Hi, you're our last call of the night, I think. Who's calling?
It's Bert from Nova Scotia.
Bert, do you know Bert and I? No, you don't know Bert and I, do you?
No. Oh, man, I've been watching this Karen Read stuff ever since I first learned about it. I believe it's been early last year, and I'm just mystified, like, at the type of shit that the Commonwealth keeps trying to pull. And whatever corruption is there, and it seems like there's a lot, it goes really deep and it goes really high, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to the bottom of it. How did you discover all of this? Did you find Aiden? Did you find Karen Read? How did you find out about it in Nova Scotia?
first time I learned about it, it was talked about. It was either by Aiden or one of the other channels, but I'm pretty sure it was Aiden. And no matter what anybody says about Aiden, I would not want to be on the receiving end. I wouldn't want to cross the guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's made a lot of things come to light down there, and he has exposed stuff and is still exposing stuff. I got a lot of respect for him. And I have a lot of respect for you too. And Mark Betterow as well, because when we stop talking about this, it's going to go away. And where does that leave everybody else? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not going to stop talking about it. That's for sure. You know?
No, I wish I was able to attend the standouts and stuff like that down there. But just know this, there's a lot of Canadians up here that had the same theory as you guys. And I believe wholeheartedly Karen's innocent. She was framed.
Love to hear that. I love to hear from Nova Scotia, Canada. It's very great to hear. And I know you can't be at the standouts, but just watching us, watching all those shows, that's very helpful to us all to get the word out. So I want to really...
Well, Mazza, he's hilarious at the standouts, man. He gets people laughing and, he should be in radio.
Yeah, but radio's dying. He's got the radio. He's in the... It's better YouTube now.
Mazza's modern radio.
Yeah. Radio would have been great 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but not now.
He's right where he needs to be right now.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Great call. I really appreciate our last caller tonight. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. We'll talk again.
You too. Please call again. Thank you so much. That was a good call. We took some good calls. We took 5, 6, 7 calls.
Oh yeah.
We even took some controversial ones.
Sure. Got the chat a little bit hot
all
there
fired up
for some of the
about,
callers.
they're still talking about what's his Jimmy from Mexico City. He got some people, even our moderators were like, F that guy. They didn't like him. They didn't like him. I wasn't even checking the chat till I heard it even got Aiden in here. Was he?
Yeah, Aiden jumped in. Yeah, the word got to him quick. Like, Aiden, there's this guy calling in about you, man. Yeah, so
he's just a liberal. I think that it's funny because our chat, I was kind of defending the guy a little bit, and our chat was like, he called Aiden a hypocrite, and then some other people said in the chat he also complimented Aiden. So he did both, didn't he? He it's like a lot of us. Like when you're a liberal, you get a little conflicted. Let it be conflicted. Hey, as long as he's supporting Karen Reed, and I feel like he's supporting Aiden too.
Right. And I think at the end of the day, the way I kind of answer the question too, just to reiterate that, is that as a content creator, we decide what we want to talk about, and that's ultimate at the end of the day. Whatever he wants to talk about, that is his call. And Aiden does a great job at his craft and doing what he's done to get the word out here about Karen Reed and to just get so many supporters, including myself. I found out about the Karen Reed case because of Aiden, and he's done a great job. And, we've just a lot of us have jumped in over the years or a year or two to, spread the word and speak out about what's going on and support a Karen. I think that's a great thing. And, I can't say enough good things about Aiden. And I say, before I say it again, I just try to leave the politics out of it. I think a caller said earlier, politics aside, we're all here for Karen and supporting Karen and backing each other up. And I think that transcends politics.
And I think what we try to do tonight is take some calls and let people air their truth,
sure.
which I liked.
Sure.
I like that we had people who were Trump people, and we had people who are liberal call in, and we had people that wanted to give some shit to Sean. I mean, I don't want to give shit to Sean. I really don't. But it's at a certain point when the audience wants to say something.
That's
and
right.
They should get to say something, So I think what we did our job tonight, Mazza. We had some great guests. We had
oh yeah,
an attorney on, the estate attorney Ryan on. We also had Haley on for a second, and we covered a lot of territory, the Supreme Judicial Court, and Bev Canone and all that other stuff. I don't know why. I'm having a problem turning off this phone. I keep turning it off. It keeps coming back on. And
take the call. Take the call.
Do you want me to take it? That was
an
Australian call.
That was it. Yeah.
I missed it, actually. I should have taken that one. That was Australia.
Yeah.
But I love you all. I love it. I want to thank Mazza Media for being
here
tonight.
Thank you.
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything to promote?
Yes. Watch The Glare for the interview that you might be curious to watch tonight. Go to the Glare's channel to watch that specifically, because he's airing that on his channel right now. So don't go to that other person's channel. Just
I can watch it on the Glare's channel.
On the Glare's channel, yeah.
Do you know how to like send people? Like, 'cause I know there's supposed to be a way you can send people from your chat to the.
Yeah, you have to go to your studio somewhere and then put the link in for that. I forget where it is. I couldn't tell you offhand, but
I'd love to do that. But people know how to find it. People know how to find it.
Right. Yep.
Oh, I want to thank Esty. She just became a new YouTube member. I love her. She's great. She was getting some crap online, some really vile shit. It just.
I heard she had a run. I saw she had a little bit of she approached Grant, or Grant approached her, or something like that. And Grant was on the scene today doing Grant things, and Esty just had enough of it. Was like,
yeah, she got right up in him. Yeah, that was awesome. People are telling us we should play that video. People should check that out. I don't have it in front of me. I was even thinking about going out with the SJC video, but I think people have seen that already. If you want to watch it, go watch it on our YouTube. There is that Aiden video that Maz is referencing. It's on his Twitter account, Aiden Carney. I would just look it up, and it's a great video. It's funny because Grant looks like a nutcase, and then Aiden gets a great little quote from the attorneys.
Yeah. The Aiden Grant phone off round 2. There hasn't been a phone off in a long time between them. That's always entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't see the Grant version. I imagine that one's probably terrible. Just the way he's like, ugh. I don't know. Anything that Grant does is not good.
He was back on the scene today. It's like, oh, here we go again. Grant doing Grant things.
Too much fun. But I'm gonna go watch that. I definitely gonna go watch that on the Glare's channel. I don't want to give that other channel any clicks.
No, watch that on the Glare's channel. Anybody has interest, go to Glare's channel. That's a safe spot for us.
Is that on now? I thought it was on at 7.
It's on now. Yeah, it's on now. I thought it was on at 7 as well, but I guess I got bumped to 8. So yeah.
See, they were worried about us. They were dodging us.
Yeah.
What's up with this, Baz? I keep turning this phone on. It comes back on now.
You can turn it off and it comes back on?
Yeah. It's like possessed. It's possessed.
Maybe the button that's maybe something wrong with the button. It's
I don't know.
Fighting you back.
Yeah, it keeps turning itself back on.
Yeah.
It's like the AI that won't go off.
Right, yeah. Yep.
But well, here we go. We got another call.
There we go.
Please, guys, no more calls tonight.
No more calls. Unless you're a troll. If you're a troll, call in. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you're a troll. I think we've taken enough tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know when we'll be back on our next show. Who knows? But just check the YouTube. If you haven't, please subscribe. That's the one thing you can really do to help us out is make sure you hit the subscription button. A lot of you, about probably more than half of you that watched, are not subscribed. Please get us. We want to get to 40,000. That's going to be a big number. So help us get to 40,000 right now. Mazza, you got your YouTube too, and Twitter at Mazza Media. Mazza Media _2 on YouTube. I know it is at Mazza Media. I hope people follow and subscribe to Mazza as well tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike, for that. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Again, I think I gave you your final word. Anything else?
Yes.
We're good.
Nope, we're good. We're good to go here. So I thought today was a positive day for the defense. Karen, David Yannetti, Alan Jackson, Attorney Weinberg all walked out of there looking very confident to the degree that I think was even keel, which was great news. So I'm looking forward to a Supreme Court ruling on this, hopefully in the next whatever time frame that's going to take. But I'm hoping for the best. And I think that Weinberg did his job today and did that very well, masterfully, in fact.
Excellent.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what happens from here. Hopefully it's quick. Hopefully it's like a month or less. That would be nice.
Right. That'd be great.
All right, Mazza, we'll keep up with you on Twitter
Yep.
and YouTube and see you soon. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you again. It's always great talking with you, my friend, and have a great evening. All right. Free Karen Read, free Turtle Boy. Take care, Mike. Take care,
Excellent.
everyone.
Thank you. That was Mazza Media. Look at that. The phone's turning back on again. I actually do need to turn it on just to check Venmos and Cash Apps, but I know as soon as I turn it on, people are going to start calling again. All right, let's just check and see if we got any Venmos or Cash Apps tonight. I want to thank What the Duck. What the Duck. They became a YouTube member tonight. Also, Stony Face Travels. Oh, Stacy Face Travels. Excuse me. Thank you so much for making a donation tonight. All right. Recently, I had a Cash App that I missed from Alice. She said, thank you. And the Rogue Tony, the Rogue Townie gave me $10. That was October 29th. I don't think I read them off at past shows. So I thank you so much, Alice, and the Rogue Townie on the Cash App. And let me check Venmo real quick. All right, Irene. Thank you so much. Irene sent $25. She says, Karen Read. Thank you so much, Irene, for sending $25 tonight. Pam also sent $20, and she says, support keeping on track towards unity in fighting very corrupt evil forces. Can't give up. I think that's what we're trying to do tonight. If you can, donate to the Karen Read Defense Fund and the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. We have them linked in the chat. We pinned them. Please check that out and support them. And Diane also gave $10 earlier this morning for the SJC stream that we did. And she says, thank you for streaming. Sorry about the election. It's okay. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting, sending positive love. Thank you so much. All right. We had a great show. I'm not sure when we'll be back, but we will be soon. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you hopefully over at the Glarus chat. Have a good night. Bye.